To share some inspiration. Not wanting to, I am going to share some inspiration. And just to touch on some things that I have been experiencing today, just the awesomeness of God the past few days, the manifestations of God. And you know, you've seen some of my posts and I'm talking about how things are manifesting, and how God really will chase after you to bless you if you open your eyes and open your heart. You know, there's a song that says, open the eyes of my heart. I want to hear you. I want to see you high and lifted up. But I always talk about mindfulness, being steady, setting your mind, quieting down, stopping, listening, looking, you know, being where you're supposed to be. The scripture that I have is Romans 8:28. And we know with great confidence the God who is deeply concerned about us causes all things to work together as a plan for good for those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. That God has created a plan for each and every one of us. Even when I was sharing with a friend this morning, I was sharing with her that there was a memory. We were talking about being in places that we shouldn't have been, doing things that we shouldn't have done. And I was very candid, and I'm scrolling through here because I want to read another interpretation of it. I remember one time, you know, I was maybe 21, and I didn't know my dad was coming to my apartment to pick me up. And a friend of mine was staying at my apartment, and I went to my boyfriend's house, the guy that I was dating at the time. And I spent the night over there. So my friend that was at my apartment decided, my dad came to pick me up, and he decides, I'm going to give not only the phone number to where you are, I'm going to tell him where you are and give him directions to how to get there. And he called me after the fact, and he said, your dad stopped by to pick you up. And I gave him the address, and I told him how to get there. And I'm sitting there on the phone. I'm like, you what? And immediately I felt this shame, because I'm like, you were sending my dad someplace that I shouldn't have been, you know, because a lot of times we have the mindset, oh, I'm a grown person. And he said, no, by the way, your pawpaw's with him. And I was like, what? So two men that was important to me on how they thought about me and that I lived up to the expectations. These two men were on their way to a place that I should not have been. And I remember my dad knocking on the door. I'm in a situation, I'm just 20-something, shouldn't be there. And my dad knocking on the door, and my walking down the steps, you know, that long walk. And my friend said, yeah, she said that long walk for somebody who didn't have the decency to tell you that nobody was ever going to take the place of this other person that he had dealt with before in his past. This long walk for someone who couldn't even validate a relationship, because what we need to know is that we don't need validation, right? Only parking needs validation. Only parking needs a stamp. The only validation that you need to know and to have is that you're walking in the perfect will of God, right? So I had to walk this long walk of shame with my dad, and then to look at my pawpaw in the car. And my pawpaw was like, why are we having to chase all around looking for you? Why are we, and who are you with? Why are you in this? And I remember hearing my grandfather talk, and this was one of the last conversations with my grandfather, and he said, guard my name, guard my name. You're Craig, guard my name. And you know that you're not even supposed to laid your head where you had your head last night. But what I've learned is that even in the midst of wrong, guess what? God worked into a plan for my good. Because those experiences, those things that I've gone through in life, those bad choices, those missteps, even the triumphs and the victories and those good things all work together for the good of you. Because God knew that I was pregnant with possibilities just like you, and that the possibilities would birth and manifest into things that would bless his kingdom. So I want to let you know that all things work together in a plan that has been devised for your success, for you to prosper, for you to have good health, for you to live in peace and flow, and God will will chase you down to bless you. And I just want to encourage you to hold on, to keep the faith, to keep pushing. All things work together for your good. Push, my sister. Push, my brother. Push out purpose and destiny. I'm out.